I want to talk about the parable of the tares because it's extremely important to understand that. And the book of Enoch has been brought forth in these end times, I believe, again, to show us some of the things we're going to need to know. And it's just like Enoch is going to be one of the witnesses. He was taken and saved for this end time, him and more than likely Elijah. But Enoch, he had the power over angels. You understand? That's how highly God thought of him. He could deliver condemnation, he could deliver the papers of judgment to them. They couldn't mess with him, they couldn't touch him. And we're going to need him in these end times as one of the witnesses because he still has that power over the evil powers that are here now, the evil spirits. That's what God was doing, and it's one of the reasons this book is coming forth now in the end times. But again, here the Lord has said unto Michael, go bind Simjah and his associates who have united themselves with women so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanliness. Now they're talking about angels and earthlings. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth to the day of their judgment and of their consummation, to the judgment that is forever and ever consummated. We talked about that valley, guys, being Mount Hermon. Check that out. But it says, in those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire and to the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. Now, what days shall they be put into the abyss of fire? Look back up on the verse before this. Into the day of their judgment and of their consummation. That's the judgment day for all. Now, what has happened here, he says, you're gonna see the destruction of your beloved ones. You're gonna see all of that because all of the evil spirits were not wiped away. It says for 70 generations that you're going to be bound. Now, what happens at the end of that 70 generations? That is the judgment, and that's what they're talking about. And now let's go to that, to the judgment that is forever and ever consummated. And here we go. In those days, they shall be led off to the abyss of fire. They're just bound for 70 generations now, guys, and to the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. So we've jumped from Noah's flood and the wiping out of that generation until the end times, to the judgment. It says, and whoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations. Now, it says, and what they're saying here, from thenceforth, guys, means that when they bound the angels, and from that time through these 70 generations, that whoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of generations. They're going to be bound together with them for that fire. Okay? The abyss of fire. Now, remember, we've jumped from the flood to the end time. Don't let that pass you by, and I'll show you why I know that's true. And it says, and destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers. Again, we're already in the end times, okay? Because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end. And let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing. The work of righteousness and the truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. He's talking about the tree of life, that tree that all will feed all nations. But guys, that's what I'm saying. When it jumped there from the flood, it jumped to the end times. Because if it hadn't, we would not be seeing this plant. It shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. Because if that was true, we would be there right now, and we're not. It says, and then, are you listening? Shall all the righteous escape? Now we've seen now it's saying the righteous are going to escape. They're going to escape that condemnation. But it'll go on to tell you that you're going to live here on earth because of the planting of that tree. It's wonderful, wonderful message. But it's something that's brought forth now to make sure that this end time deception and the spirit of slumber does not come upon Christ's children, the elect. And it says, and then after all this shall the righteous escape, and shall live till they beget thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age shall they complete in peace. Guys, the millennium. And then shall the whole earth be tilled with righteousness, and shall all be planted with trees, and be full of blessing, and all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it, and the vine which they plant thereon shall yield wine in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown thereon, each measure of it shall bear 1,000, and each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. Now, it says, and cleanse thou the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godlessness, and all the uncleanliness that is wrought upon the earth. Destroy from off the earth. And all the children of man shall become righteous, and all nations shall offer adoration and shall praise me, and all shall worship me. And the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment, and from all torment, and I will never again send them upon it from generation to generation and forever. Them is the fallen angels, guys, the watchers that were not supposed to fall. That's why I'm saying we've skipped from that flood warning down to the end of time. Now, let's go back up here and I'll show you where this is the parable of the tares that Christ was teaching the disciples. Remember, the crowd had left and the disciples had asked him privately, Master, what are the signs and what does this mean? But again, it says, destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Guys, they are the evil ones now that have destroy us with nuclear poisoning from Fukushima, nuclear bombs, you name it. It says, destroy all wrong from the face of the earth and let every evil work come to an end. Now, when that, again, every evil work comes to an end is when Christ gets here, okay? The gathering back. But when you think about gathering back, remember, are we gathered back somewhere? Or are we simply, the gathering is because Christ is coming here and we're all gathered together here for the millennium. Keep that in mind. Now, and then shall all the righteous escape. All right, remember that they are bound and they are saved, and then in the end they are put in the abyss of fire. Now let's go over to the right in Matthew. Everybody just hang in there with me. I'm not trying to confuse anyone or put any kind of division anywhere. Matthew 13:24. Another parable he put forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath the tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. Guys, who is the enemy? And who is the master of the field? It says, the servant said unto him, Without then that we go and gather them up. Who are the servants? They're the angels. They're the reapers of the angels. Tares you read up also the wheat with them. But let both grow together until the harvest, and the time of the harvest. I will say to the reapers, Gather you get together first the tares, and bind them together in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Who does he gather first? Both sides. The book of Enoch, he's getting the children of the watchers. They're being bound for the abyss of fire. On the right, it says, gather together first. This is Christ in red letters. And bind them in bundles to burn them, and gather them to wheat it. But gather the wheat into my barn. The wheat are his children. Now, they went on and he explained this parable. I'm going to skip down to Matthew 13:37. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. What did they, we're talking about? The children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. The end of the world. And therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so it shall be in the end of the world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteousness shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their fathers. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Be safe.